Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Ride of Your Life podcast. This week we are joined in the virtual studio by a good friend of mine. You know her, you love her, and she is amazing. If you have not met her, you're going to get to know her by the end of this episode, and you'll definitely want to subscribe to her content. But without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome our special guest this week. It is Miss Grace Walston. How you doing, Grace?
I'm good. How about you?
I am doing fantastic, knowing that you're in the virtual studio this week. So glad, we're so glad to have you back, and we're just excited to talk all things Christ Coasters. Not coffee this week, but we're going to talk about everything else other than coffee. But we could talk coffee too if you want. So,
coffee is good. Coffee's good.
It is. Yeah, we were just talking about the episode we did with Aaron of Coasters and Coffee and the Grind to Happiness, which if you all have not heard that episode, go back, listen to it, and you'll be very much enticed to make this coffee. It's great. But anyways, let's talk about Grace. So Grace, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little about yourself, and go ahead and introduce yourself for those who don't know you.
First off, thanks for having me. My name is Grace. Y'all might know me as Grace Adventures. This is August. So I've been in the coaster community for almost like about a year now. And honestly, I've had such a fun time doing all this fun stuff at theme parks and exploring and Easter eggs and whatnot. Let's see. So in terms of my faith as being a Christian, I grew up in the church. I've always been a believer. And now I actually work for my church, which is even more fun. So I get to dedicate my times, talents, and passions to ministry. And yeah, I kind of have a really boring testimony. There's probably some interesting bad stuff here and there, but overall,
there's no such thing as a boring testimony.
Yeah, you're kind of right. I guess getting into like the nitty gritty of things, but yeah, overall, love Jesus. He's a part of my life, and I hope somehow he can be a part of y'all's lives too.
Yep, man. That's the main takeaway of this episode for you all. Is, like I said, we're going to talk about some fun things, but first and foremost, we want you to know who Jesus is and how you can have a personal relationship with him and make him the Lord of your life, your best friend, and your heavenly Father. So, Grace, something we've been asking our guests this season, and I'm going to ask you now, is what does the cross mean to you as a believer of Jesus Christ? What does the cross mean to you?
Oh, that's a good question. So the cross to me is a sacrifice. So I hope I explained this good, but in the Old Testament, whenever you committed a sin, you would have to sacrifice an animal, and most notably, people usually sacrifice like lambs, and because like lambs didn't sin, animals didn't sin in that sense, and that would be like the proper thing to do for God to show him that you're faithful to him. And when Jesus came into the world, Jesus was the perfect person. Like, you couldn't get more perfect than him. He didn't sin, and he never sinned, even on the cross when he was suffering for our sins and transgressions. And him just being on the cross, and the cross in general, shows sacrifice and love for all of humanity when we didn't even deserve it. So whenever y'all see a cross or think of Jesus, just know that he loves you and he died for you.
That's a good explanation there. It's really a symbol of hope and just life, too. And like you said, in the Old Testament, they had to sacrifice for their sins, but Jesus Christ was that final sacrifice, the perfect, spotless Lamb of God that takes away the sin of the world, as John the Baptist said. And that's what we want to point to today, is the cross, and how you can have that peace and assurance knowing that what was done on the cross, when Jesus said it is finished, it was finished. So no longer you have to live to your sin. No longer your past tells you who you are. It's who you are when you come to the cross. You get a fresh, clean slate with Jesus Christ. And for those who are living or who are listening to this podcast episode this week, know this, that you can find that life in Jesus Christ and that hope in the cross. So, Grace, for those who are listening and are just struggling, whether it's guilt from the past or just feeling like there's no way of forgiveness from the Lord, what would you say to those people when they come to the cross?
So, interesting thing is, the very first thing that pops into my head is the story of the thief on the cross. And if you guys don't know, it's most notably in the book of Luke. And there's a thief on the cross and another guy on the cross, and they're both on each side of Jesus at the time of Jesus' death. And one of the criminals was like, if you're so powerful, if you're actually the Son of God and Son of Man, then throw yourself off this cross. And the other thief on the other side of Jesus pretty much was like, no, stop. Like, this is the guy. Like, this is the Son of Man. Pretty much just putting his faith in Jesus while on the cross. And he asked Jesus if he can accept him in his life. And Jesus replied that today you'll be with me in paradise. And what I'm trying to get with that is that you could literally be moments away from death and accept Jesus in your life. You could have an entire past of grief, guilt, loss, suffering, and you might not know it yet, but Jesus is there for you. And there's two easy ways of getting in touch with Jesus. And one of them being prayer, and the other one of just opening your Bible. And there's been times where I've been like struggling with something, and I just open my Bible and the verse just pops up of like maybe like how to like solve a solution or how to feel better about a situation. So just know that Jesus is waiting for you to have a relationship with him and talk to him.
That's good. And yeah, that thief, he didn't have time to get baptized. He didn't have time to get everything right, make ends meet with people. He had one choice, and that's to turn to Jesus, and that's what he did. And whether you're on your deathbed or whether you're listening to this podcast right now, we all have one chance to accept Christ. So make it today. Make it count. Make the choice today to follow Jesus and accept his free gift of salvation and have that hope of heaven someday and that assurance of heaven. So that's really good. And again, that's why we do what we do here at Every Life Ministries, and this is why Grace does what she does, even with ministry, and just her witness is just for the one that needs to hear it. So that's good. And what is a verse that you would say has helped you the most in your walk with Christ and just in your everyday life?
So it's crazy. I like to bounce from verse to verse, depending on what I'm dealing with in my life. So right now, in the book of Job 1:21, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the story of Job. Pretty much. So for y'all that don't know, Job pretty much has like everything taken away from him besides his wife. So his daughters, his livestock, like literally everything is taken away. And it's really like an act of faith in God. And so where I'm going with this is Job 1:21. The Lord has given and the Lord has taken away. So regardless, blessed be the name of the Lord. And it just shows good faith in God. And, you know, you might not get every single thing you want in life. Some things might be given. Some things might be taken away. So, you know, we're not spoiled human beings. You know, life happens. You just gotta stay faithful and praise God for what he has given you in that moment.
Yeah, and that's a good verse and a good story to look at. And that's one I think people glance over so much. They know the story. A lot of people know the story of Job, but they don't know that Job was faithful, even when the world and even his wife were telling him, hey, just curse God and die. Like you said, everything is taken away from you. You have every right to be mad at God.
Mm-hmm.
But God is not willing that any should perish, all come to repentance. God doesn't throw anything bad in our lives. It's because of our sin. It's because of our separation from him that there's bad things in this world. And we know God didn't put those things on Job. It was the devil. And the devil's the one who will tempt you and make you think that God's this evil dictator in heaven that is trying to control you and manipulate you. But all God wants from us is our heart and our willingness to trust him and have that relationship with him. So that's a good verse there. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Good stuff. So, all right, Grace. Let's talk about just this community has meant to you and just some of the things that you've just seen, how God's been able to use you to be encouraged and to be an encouragement to those around you.
Yes. So I will say, I feel like God put and guided me to this community at the time that I needed to be in this community. So it was summer of last year, and this was when I was watching the news where it's like the Cedar Fair and Six Flags merger. And I'm like, oh, great. And then it's like interesting time to start out. And, you know, I've always loved roller coasters my entire life. I just have never gone into them. And it's crazy. I live in Florida. I should be able to. And no, not until this year. I feel like for good reason.
Yeah.
So kind of like my first outing to a theme park, at least by myself. It was absolutely scary, but at the same time, I easily made a community like just through my first visit. And that was when Scorpion was closing. And that was the last time I also rode Scorpion. And if you guys know, I rode it 22 times.
There you
go. It was
go.
so worth it. Yeah. So that happened. And some of you guys might know this already, but Hurricane Helene came in. Absolutely crazy storm. Okay, so we live near the water.
Ooh.
And my dad was out of town. It was kind of just me and my mom. And we were like always watching the TV, like looking to see how this hurricane's gonna look, Hurricane Helene. And we're like, oh, we're okay. We don't need sandbags. And then I just did like a little bit of prepping outside. I recorded myself like tumbling off of our dock step, being like super goofy, like
preparation.
I know, like, oh, nothing's gonna happen with this hurricane. And I will give you like a little bit of why I didn't think it was gonna be bad. So Hurricane Ian actually sucked out all of the water to the point where just like during that hurricane, I was literally digging out in the water. I was digging out a piece of a roof in the water. There's a lot of really bad hurricane stories. I'm a true Floridian. Anyways, so Hurricane Helene happened. I actually wasn't home. I was dog sitting for someone else. And it was like 9:00 at night, and I was getting ready for bed. And my mom was sending pictures in our group chat that the water kept rising. Like, it kept rising, like, by every single minute. And I'm like, oh crap. And then I was like, yo, mom, do you need help? I'll come right now. Like, it shouldn't take more than like a couple hours, so the dogs will be fine. And when I went to go drive, that was absolutely the scariest drive of my life.
Oh, no.
The signs, they looked like they were about to fall off as I was driving. The highway was flooded.
Oh, no.
Really bad, yeah. So I was driving on part of the road and part of the grass. And when I got to my neighborhood, like, the flood was literally already coming from both sides of, like, each subdivision, I guess, if you know what I mean. So it's like, This is like one strip of a house, and like water's on both sides. So water starts coming in on both sides, and I'm like, I can't drive to my neighborhood in my little Honda HRV. And so I park at like a local community area, like public community area, and I was gonna go walk to my house. And so I don't recommend this. So I don't know this person, but it's like he had like a high pickup truck, and he was a stranger. You know, I just met him, and I was telling him the situation that I'm like, oh, I was gonna like try to like help and go walk to my mom to go get her, and he's like, no, I'll drive you.
Stranger danger.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't. He's a really nice guy. He actually really was. Him and his family were really nice. I just don't recommend it in day-to-day situations. This is a little different.
The Lord bless this
storm surge. So, the waters. Okay, so good thing this guy had a high pickup truck, because the waters were so high. Like, the water definitely would have gotten in my engine. So he drove me to my house, got my mom. We came back, and then I felt like I was in like an action movie. I was Tom Cruise, and I was driving over sidewalks to leave and go back to the doghouse. And I had to warn the people that my mom was coming over to stay the night or two, because you know, we were getting flooded. Like, literally, okay, so I walked in my house, and as we were leaving, the water was literally coming in our house.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So we came back the next morning. It was around 7 in the morning, and the water was still receding as we came back in the morning. And we got about, like, 3 feet of water, FC water in our house.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so if, like, I don't know if y'all have been flooded. I don't recommend it. But it was a huge life changer, which was so crazy that it actually happened. So one thing I will say from that is how important having a community is. Not just the church community, but also like y'all, like being in the coaster community was like absolutely crazy, and like all that jazz. So there was like people I could relate to who also got flooded in the coaster community. Illimium Images. So like we based a friendship off of that, and now we're like talking every day. And you know, I talk to people who say, oh, I'll be like in prayer for you, or for, it's like, if you need help, let me know. And obviously I said no just for like nice reasons. And we also had a lot of people from church come help move stuff, because we were kind of in a rush, because Hurricane Milton looked like it was coming in the same course, and it was coming in the same, like within a week that Hurricane Helene came in. So it's crazy how God works in your life. We found a condo to live in for the next 3 months. And then once our house was kind of complete, we came back to this house we're in right now, and I slept on a cot from January to April. No, it's crazy times, but overall, I don't think I would be as happy as I am right now if I didn't have people like y'all in my life. And I don't have to explain the whole story to every single person that I talk to, but just talking with people and being surrounded by great people like you, Donnie, has been such a huge support system. And it's been awesome to be friends and to grow and to find Christians alike. Because the situation was crazy, but it's much love and support. And it's been a great outlet. And I know God led me to this community for a reason. And it's been amazing. I've had so much fun with everyone that I've encountered and met.
Awesome. And
yeah,
thankful Lord connected us all, and the friendship that we built from you, and there's just Kenzie and I love you, and we're so thankful for your friendship. And yes, love to all. But I gotta say this, but all I can think of at the beginning is let the dogs fend for themselves. But I'm glad you all went back to the dogs, but I'm whoa.
No, I was so when I first got there, I'm crap, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back to the dogs if I actually go through this. But, God worked it out that way that I was able to. So, oof, holy crap, yeah.
Wolf is right. But that's seriously awesome that what seems to be just a tragedy and just a bad time, God used for good to bring people along the way to help encourage, just be a blessing, and just to come alongside of you. And that's one of the things I love about the Coaster community, and just what God's allowed me to do with Ride for Life is to meet some amazing people who have just been a help to me. And sometimes where I just felt I don't know, just felt in the dumps, or just feel like not the best.
Yeah.
And just have people that are praying for you, encouraging you. But what were we going to say, Grace?
Oh, no, you're good. I was going to say exactly. And to your point, there was a time before joining the Coaster community where it's I've struggled with making friends and I've struggled with being alone. But since joining this community, I don't feel that. And I feel like I have a great support system and people I can talk to all the time now. And it makes me really happy. And I hope I can meet more people, make new friends, and spread the love of God to many people that I encounter.
Absolutely. And there, like everything, there could be some rotten apples in the midst of what's good. But you got to look at the good. And in darkness, there is light. And it might take some searching for it, but it's there. And that's one of the neat things about knowing believers in this Coaster community, is just knowing that there are people that are brothers and sisters in Christ that you can lean on in the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we got to be the light. And we just got to be willing to be used by God, and willing to shine His light to those around us and point them to the cross, as we were talking about. So, so where have you seen God in the Coaster community? I know it's weird saying that, but what are some ways you've seen God work in and through the Coaster community, of all things?
That's an interesting question. I know for sure when we went to the, me and my boyfriend, we went to the Ride of Your Life meetup at Kings Island. Yes. That was awesome, just to be surrounded by other believers. And that's what's amazing about this organization, and how more Christians can be involved in not only coasters, but also in their relationships with Jesus. And I know not every single person in the coaster community is Christian. Like, they all have their different beliefs, different morals, different practices. And, you know, that's between them and God, obviously. You can't force someone to be a Christian. But you can shine your light on someone, and you can also pray for them and, you know, be a good friend towards them no matter what. But with all the Christians that I've encountered in the coaster community, it's been nothing but greatness. It's been nothing but community. It's been nothing but love, support, and prayers.
Yeah. And I agree 100%. And it's just neat to spend time with those believers. And there are ways that we're working on of connecting coaster enthusiasts and believers and even non-believers. So stay tuned for that. But yeah. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the neat things you're able to do. So last time we were on the podcast together, we talked a little about your content, and it's blown up immensely since then. It's so neat to see where what God's allowed you to do, and just the crowd that He's allowed you to influence. So go ahead and talk about Grace's Adventures. First off, what it is and what you've been doing since we talked last on the podcast.
So Grace Adventures is kind of just like all of the stuff that I like to talk about in terms of theme parks. So I really like to find and research roller coasters. That's one thing, is that I really like to, you know, kind of be like the encyclopedia. So I'm trying to expand my knowledge in that direction. I've definitely done that for Busch Gardens. I know too much about Busch Gardens Tampa. I mean, maybe there's definitely a lot more to know, but that's besides the point. Another thing is I love finding Easter eggs. Easter eggs are so fun to find. Every time I go to Universal Studios, there's always a new Easter egg popping up and always a new one to record. So that brings me joy just to do. And also, I will be real with my content. For the time being, it's been kind of slacking. So I do post YouTube videos. I just haven't had the most time in the world, but they will be coming back. But yeah, Grace Adventures is just some of the fun stuff that I like to talk about, some of the fun stuff that I like to do. And some of the content that I capture, I love to share with you guys. And especially updates about Busch Gardens every time I go. Every single time I have to update about Busch Gardens, I'm obsessed.
Nice. So we're going to open that whole can of worms of Busch Gardens here in just a moment. But
Yay.
What has been your favorite Easter egg? Whether it was at Busch Gardens, whether it's at Universal or some of the Ohio parks, what's been the coolest and best Easter egg you found?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This was probably my... Okay, that's really hard. That's a really hard question. Okay, so... Let's see. Okay, so part of the Berlin Wall is behind the Hard Rock at Universal Studios. Okay, so I know you've been to Universal with Kinsey. Yeah. Have you ever seen it?
We know it's there, but we never went back to the Hard Rock. When we're in City Walk, we're either dashing to a restaurant or dashing out of the park or into a park. So we never really have deep dived into it. But I think with this new coaster, which we could talk about here in a moment, you might be able to see it more now than you did before. Yeah,
So with Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, they knocked out a bunch of trees. So now it's very visible from the back once you're like making your way up to the to that roller coaster. So that's probably like my favorite one at Universal Studios. So let's see. I'm disappointed in Cedar Point because I only found one Easter egg at Cedar Point, and I should have documented it for like a reel, but it's okay. Next time. It's not like it's not my last time at Cedar Point. But I will spoil that there is an Easter egg for Mean Streak on the TV screens as you're boarding onto Steel Vengeance. I forget. It's like a phrase, and they use it's going to be like a mean streak or something like that. So there is an Easter egg there. I need to go back and look at it. And with Kings Island, I was very, 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 very impressed about the amount of Easter eggs. And if I had more time in that park, I would like dissect everything that I could. that was amazing. And I think it was either you or Ryan were telling me that in the COVID lockdowns, they just expanded Area 72 to be full of Easter eggs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really cool. I really like the ones. Ooh, what are they called? The barrels. The barrels are really cool because it points to different it points to different coasters in the Cedar Fair parks. So I know it was like Magnum, Volcano, 325, and the Disaster Transport ride at Cedar Point. Yep. Pretty sure that was all of them. Yes. So that was really cool to see. And I know there's a lot more. That's for another day too. It's not going to be my last day at Kings Island either.
Yeah. Better not be.
No, I still have coaster credits in that park that I didn't get to, so I'm going back for sure. I know. So, wow. But, okay, now I need to think of Busch Gardens. Oh, yeah, by the way, I haven't found any at SeaWorld Orlando. So, yeah, I know. That's crazy. And I'm still trying to explore the park more, too. I just haven't found any, which is United Parks.
Yeah.
Busch Gardens. Still thinking. So there was this really cool Easter egg, and unfortunately it literally, okay, so it doesn't work in the women's bathroom anymore. I don't know about the men's bathroom, but it was a tribute to a previous attraction that Cobra's Curse replaced, and it was called King Tut's Tomb Walkthrough Attraction. And, you know, it was centered around King Tut's tomb, obviously, and the excavation of King Tut's tomb. And it was, like, very much educational, and it was very cool. But anyways, the Easter egg for it is that you went into the bathrooms right near Montu and right behind Cobra's Curse, and there would be a little button on the bottom of one of the mirrors, and you would press the button, and some fancy like music and an image of King Tut's tomb would pop up in the mirror. So that was a Easter egg that was there on purpose, but that was probably one of their best Easter eggs that they've ever put there. And I just want them to fix the one, at least in the women's bathroom. The one in the women's bathroom right now has, instead of the button, there's a screwdriver there. And you used to be able to press the screwdriver and it would work without the music. So you would still see the image of King Tut. But, you know, it's a couple years old, like 2016. But yeah, Easter eggs are fun.
They are. I love a good Easter egg, and
yes,
Kings Island is notorious for Easter eggs from past, present, and
yes,
there's probably some future ones in there that I've noticed with previous attraction or current attractions, but before they were built, that they kind of hinted at they were going to be. Yeah. So it's neat to see those. I love searching for those at the parks, and Cedar Point surprisingly has some interesting ones now that TT2 is up. So I'll have to tell you some of those off camera. So you people got to look for it yourselves. I ain't going to give you some free Easter eggs here. So you got to watch Grace Adventures for that.
I might have given a free Easter egg, but you know, the next time I'll charge for money.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the extended version of this podcast episode is you got to pay to hear the Easter eggs. So I'm actually going to bleep out every Easter egg you heard, so you all aren't getting this for free.
Sorry guys.
Sorry, not sorry. But anyways, but yeah, it's fun hanging out with you guys at Kings Island and do a little bit Easter egg hunt there. But I'll tell you this. Adventure Port had some interesting Easter eggs, and Jungle X, if you ever get to go to King's Dominion, there's quite a bit of Easter eggs in there as well. A treasure trove, if you would, of those. So,
ooh, okay. I'll keep that in mind. Jungle X.
Jungle X is amazing. But let's go ahead and talk about this before we talk about Busch Gardens, or Tampa, whichever one it is. But we talked about it a little bit, but Rip Ride Rocket's going away. It's gonzo. Mm-hmm. What do you think, now that there's starting to be hints dropped here and there, what do you think is actually coming? Last time we talked, we thought it was going to be something Minions related, but I don't think that's the case anymore.
No. Okay, so this is another Easter egg that Universal kind of put out, which is that's really funny. And I made a post about this kind of today too, or well, I kind of hinted at it too. But anyways, that's besides the point. So they hinted at this next roller coaster being like Ghostbusters themed, and I don't know if they're being literal about that or if they're actually going to do it. And kind of like the symbolism and history behind that is that Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, part of the track goes through the old firehouse that used to host like the Ghostbusters Spooktacular. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Ghostbusters Spooktacular show. And the firehouse is still there. It's just the roller coaster just goes through it. Mm-hmm. And there was a poster, kind of like calling for an assembly that for like
save the firehouse.
Yeah, save the firehouse. Yeah, exactly. So I definitely feel like I'm leaning more towards Ghostbusters now. And yeah.
So what kind of Intamin coaster do you think it will be?
I think it's a hyper.
Okay.
It could be. I mean, I don't... well, they are clearing out more land. And they kind of did fit Mako in a decent spot as a hyper.
That's the interesting thing, too. Yeah. It's out... This coaster is in City Walk. There's no... There's no debate. This is going to be in the water, it looks like. They've cleared out, it's gone back to the Bloomin' stage where it used to be, and this thing's going to be massive, whatever it is. So
it's definitely not a Giga.
That we know. We know. It can blow our minds, and then it can pull off this Giga.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad.
But I'm very intrigued and curious as to why they're clearing out so much land.
Yeah. I feel like it's definitely a hyper. I feel like it could be. And if I'm wrong, then that's okay. You didn't hear it from me.
You heard it from... I don't even know. You heard it from Coaster Studios. I don't know. But anyways, time will only tell what it is. Who knows? But it'll be funny if once this episode comes out, they announce what it is and we're completely off. And it's like Fast and Furious. I'll be very upset if that's the case.
No. I mean, okay, I get Fast and Furious because they did it at the Hollywood Park, but no. Nah. Yeah, the sigh is real.
I mean, if it gets rid of Supercharged, fine, let it be. But Fast and Furious was never in New York, so I don't know why they would. No.
I know.
But if they get rid of Fast and Furious, they need to bring Back to the Future. They need a good 88 miles per hour coaster. But
I feel like they're gonna bring Back to the Future back somehow. I feel like it's gonna come back somehow too.
Which here's an Easter egg for you. I don't know if you've heard this one yet. It's at Epic Universe. Oh, I think you know a part of it. Like on Stardust Racers, there's a flux capacitor.
Yes.
But did you hear the backstory of why that's there?
I'm pretty sure. Oh, hold on. Let me get my brain working. Okay, so I kind of know the backstory of the celestial people.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it has to do something with that, where it's just like, in order for them to like travel fast distances, they had to use the flux capacitor. Is that close?
You're close,
Okay.
but they needed help. So they're wanting to attract all these visitors to their celestial world.
Mm-hmm.
So they called in the big shot. They brought in this portal, which hopefully this is hinting at what's to come with Epic Universe, but they brought in a portal and brought Doc Brown to help them launch this thing. So hopefully this means we're getting a Back to the Future land.
Yes.
Send us through the portal to Hill Valley. I would love that. Give us that 88 mile per hour coaster. And man,
there is land for expansion. So
what do you think is coming?
Yeah.
What do you think is coming?
Oh, what do I think is coming?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Okay, so I feel like there's definitely going to be expansion for Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the first little bits of expansion in terms of Celestial Park are definitely going to be like character meet and greets. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if what you're predicting about Doc Brown and Back to the Future is true, and it's not at the Universal Parks, they'll start doing meet and greets at Epic Universe with Doc Brown and Marty McFly. And I feel like if they really wanted to, they could do Back to the Future there. Like, I could see it, actually. Mm-hmm. Like, that'd be really cool. Yeah.
But that would be insane if they teased that. Universal's released this story already that Doc Brown came and helped them build this thing, but like you said, if they brought Doc Brown there to meet guests outside of Stardust Racers,
yeah, exactly,
that would be cool.
Yeah,
and do almost a beta testing there to see how are people going to react to Doc in this park. Which Doc is an interesting character at the studios. I don't know if you've met him at the studios, but he's actors that play him are hilarious. They play him so well, and man. Universal knows that people love these characters. They love the classics. We don't need no Fast and the Furious. We need some Doc Brown. We need some Jaws. We need some Ghostbusters.
If I don't think you've ever seen the Mega Movie Parade. I mean, I've only seen it once.
I want to see it.
Oh, it was really neat just to see, and you could tell which floats were the most popular and which weren't. And obviously, the ones that weren't were the newer ones. So you can tell that like Jaws, E.T., Back to the Future and Ghostbusters were like on point. Where it's like everyone's like, yay, phones out, all that stuff. So it's highly possible. I would say like 50-50 right now.
Okay. All right. And while we're on the topic, we'll make this quick to talk about Busch Gardens, but you went to Epic Universe since the last time we talked here on the podcast. Go ahead and give us your quick review, thoughts, what you like, what you didn't like about it.
So what's funny about that was I was going to make a review video about Epic Universe to post on my YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. But so this was during pass holder previews. And I don't want to say my visit was bad because
testing.
Yeah, it was testing. That's what pass holder previews were. And it was also during technical difficulties, and they put that all around the park. So, you can't blame Universal for warning guests that there are going to be technical difficulties with their rides and throughout the day. So, funny thing is, I only got to ride Monsters Unchained and Hiccup Swing Gliders. We did ride Monsters Unchained twice, which was probably one of the best dark rides you could ever imagine. Like, it's amazing. And same with Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Monsters is like on that level of dark rides.
Wow.
But pretty much throughout the entire day when me and Juan went, everything was closed. So we pretty much just ate food the entire day. So I have like us with videos of us test tasting food and drinks, which I haven't posted because there's Juan is like a foodie, and he gives his review on foods like that, and they're actually they're really good reviews, but they're just really long, and I'm just like, ooh, I have no time for this right now. But anyways, so my overall review of Epic Universe, I'm definitely gonna put on hold because we're gonna go again sometime in the fall, because I feel like the day we went, it was amazing, but I don't think everything being closed did us justice. Oh, we also went to Nintendo World. Nice. And we rode the Mario ride, which broke down for a good hour.
Oh no.
Yeah, but then we were like, oh, we have nothing else to do, and everything else is closed. So we just stayed in line. And then we rode Yoshi's Adventures, and we met Toad, and I think Juan was happier to see Toad than he was to see me.
Oh, no.
when I picked him up this morning, I got a really funny picture of him.
Oh.
Like,
insert it here.
But yeah, definitely recommend going to Epic Universe, and I think I've heard rumors that it's going to be added on to the Universal Annual Pass in 2026, and nice. Hopefully, if you come down in January for Rock the Universe, it is also added to that ticket.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I know my youth pastor is also fingers crossed for that too when we go. So, yeah, crazy day at Epic Universe. All the food is really good. Mm-hmm. Spend your money there. It's worth it.
I've heard nothing but good things about that food. So, What was your favorite thing? What was your favorite food item?
So, I'm like very much in the pumpkin. Okay. And I'm also not very much in the Harry Potter, but in the Harry Potter land, it was one of the restaurants. I forget what it's called. I'm not, like I said, I'm not very much in the Harry Potter, but I got this pumpkin drink. It was like a pumpkin apple cider, and I just I drank the entire thing in like one sitting. That was a really good drink, actually.
Nice.
And the very first thing that me and Juan bought were the mac and cheese cones, and we got like the fiery, like the little bit more spicy one. Mm-hmm. And I'm not into spice, but it was actually fairly good. The bread was really good too. And what else do we eat? Pizza Moon, low key. I mean, it's okay for theme park pizza, but I'm gonna get hate for this, but I compare it. I compare it to like Sam's Club pizza.
Okay.
But
not that bad. It could be worse.
It
could be pizza Rizzo for all we know.
That's true.
That sounds nasty. No wonder it's gone.
No, yeah. But overall, the food was great. And one place that I'm kind of sad that we didn't try was any of the food from Dark Universe. That's probably the only place we didn't try. But Super Mario World had really good like mango smoothie thing too. And then the crepes at Harry Potter.
Oh, the butterbeer ones.
Okay. So I will say butterbeer was very, very, very sweet. Like if you're a sweet tooth, you'll like it. Mm-hmm. But if you're not, then good luck. But we did try the more, what is it? The like the fruitier one with like the fruit, and that one was like a bit more bearable.
Okay.
But I don't even remember the last time I had a crepe before eating that, but it was good.
Nice.
And one more thing about Epic Universe I will say, and that just made the experience a little bit more crazy, was the what is it called? Harry Potter. No, it's not Harry Potter. It's the Harry Potter ride.
Oh, Ministry of Magic?
Yeah, Ministry of Magic. Ooh. I can't wait just to like get that ride over with. There were like slots and ticket times where it was like a select few could go on, and you could tell it was like at like 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock, I think. Everyone was like on their phones trying to like select their like times, trying to select like time slot to get tickets to go on Ministry of Magic. And that was just, that was crazy. Just like I try to attempt to get on that ride or attempt to even walk the queue. Mm-hmm. But I think it's like recently it's died down. Yeah. So if you're trying to go on Ministry, you should be okay.
Rock the universe.
I know. Rock the universe, don't let us down.
Hopefully it's a good lineup this year. I mean, last year was good. Who would you want to see at Rock the Universe? I can tell you who's not going to be there. If you know, you know.
Anyways. I don't... Skillet.
Yeah.
Because they weren't there last year, but they were there the year before.
Not true.
So they might as well be here in 2026.
Yeah. It'd be a good headliner.
Yes.
Hopefully not Brandon Lake again.
Oh my gosh.
We talked about... Everybody go back to the previous episode that we were on together.
Brandon Lake
at Rock the Universe was insane, yo.
Yeah, Brandon Lake is like actually a headache. No, but not in like his like music, but just like
just his concerts are a headache.
Yeah, just his concerts. So
just his presence, it's like there's people out the wazoo.
Yeah.
I hope they do something with the barricades. That was ridiculous.
They need to improve those, and I don't know. Mm-hmm. They didn't learn their lesson from the previous year that Brandon Lake was there. And then when y'all were there, they definitely didn't learn their lesson. Yeah. So...
Did you say you were by someone that threw up in the barricades? Who was that? Was that you that told that story?
I don't think so, but this late... I don't know. There were a couple instances that happened in the crowd. And someone, I think, was... So the very first year Brandon Lake was there, there was like this guy, he's either had too much alcohol or he has like a short temper. And he was like threatening to beat up one of our youth.
Oh no.
Like as we were trying to make our way through the crowd. It's like, we're not trying to cut. We're just like trying to like walk away from the concert. Yeah, exactly. And then this last year in 2025, when we were trying to make our way through the crowd again, so I felt so bad too. This lady was like in a wheelchair, and it's like obviously I didn't mean to step on her, but I guess like the mom or the guardian saw me as a threat, and she said like something super nasty to me, and I'm like, no, I'm so sorry. I'm just like, we're trying to get our way through. So yeah.
Oh no.
Crazy crowds, guys. Crazy crowds.
Oh man. Go Rock the Universe. Anyways, moving on from that. Oh, man. Let's talk Busch Gardens a little bit, and then we got some questions from you listeners. I know you all are dying to hear your questions answered. So,
woo, okay.
Busch Gardens, Tampa. Tell us some of your tips and tricks for conquering this park.
So, firstly, I will say it's very easy to conquer Busch Gardens Tampa. The only bad thing is it's a lot of walking. And it's not like Universal or Islands of Adventure. No, it's a lot of walking. But it's not bad because you burn more calories. So that's one thing. Definitely buy your tickets in advance. Don't buy them in the ticket booth. And definitely arrive as early as you can. And stay as late as you want in the park. The very first roller coaster you should ride, unfortunately, I'm joking. Definitely Iron Gwazi is probably one of the first roller coasters you should ride, but it also depends on the day. So I'm like, as a lot of you guys know, I'm obsessed with Montu. And
I had no idea.
And Monday to Thursday, Montu runs on one train, but consistently throughout the week, Iron Gwazi runs on 2 trains for the most part. And So if you're going on a Monday or a Thursday, definitely go to Montu first, because Montu is going to be a longer wait time. And while you're in the area, hit Cobra's Curse, because that's a huge family ride. But if it's a weekend, you should be fine to just hit Iron Gwazi first, and then make your way around the park that way. And as you know, Busch Gardens is in Florida, and it's hot. It's very hot. The last couple times I've been to Busch Gardens, I've barely survived, so I just left early. And one thing I would recommend for sure is bring sunscreen and drink a lot of water. They offer free water at all of their Coca-Cola stations, or if you ask one of the food stand people, they'll give you like a little cup of water. So stay hydrated, stay in the shade, and try to get as much air conditioning as you can. But yeah, I would definitely hit either Montu or Iron Gwazi first when you come into the park. And if you're looking to eat in the park, the Zambini Smokehouse near Shikra is probably the best you could eat.
What do you have to get there?
A lot of smokehouse, so like brisket, ribs, chicken on bone. Juan got like the whole big combo of it, and he said that was probably like the best theme park food he's ever eaten.
Nice.
And that's coming from the foodie, and I'm like, wait, compare the Epic Universe? That's crazy.
What?
Or I know. And you know, this is like a side note, but we went to that chicken finger place near Banshee. Yeah. At Kings Island. He said those are probably like the best chicken fingers he's eaten.
What? What in the world are you talking about, dude? That is the nastiest place at Kings Island.
He thought they were really good. But anyways, yeah, Zambini Smokehouse at Busch Gardens, near Shikra, near Tigris. Probably the best place, and probably worth your money if you're looking for, I guess, like authentic theme park food. Or there's Chick-fil-A near Wild Oasis.
Oh,
so
nice.
Those two are the best.
Nice. Wow. I'm ready to get down to Tampa. That's a bucket list park for us. And
yes.
Thankfully, I don't know if Kenzie's work will do it or not, but for a while they sent her down there before we got married, and she used to like remote down there and everything, and hopefully they send her down reluctantly, gotta send her down there, and then I have to tag along, but
unfortunately tag along,
Tampa, but yeah, hopefully we can make it down there and see you all and catch some Iron Gwazi and Montu and all that good stuff. So
y'all would definitely love a marathoning Iron Gwazi. I don't know so much about Montu.
Oh wow. Nowadays, it's hard to marathon anything. A marathon. I don't know if y'all have seen this, the Epic Destination video that we had at King's Dominion. I bragged about marathoning Twisted Timbers twice, and that's a marathon for me, is doing it twice. After that, I'm like, okay, I'm done. But my coaster days are coming to close. But yeah.
No, don't go into the light. You're not that old.
Yes. I just turned 30, so baby steps. But in all seriousness, that's awesome. We can't wait to get down there eventually. And and you can say pass if you want to. Let's talk about Tropical Oasis. What can visitors expect for that? What can guests expect for that?
So Tropical Oasis. Well, actually, I will correct it. It's called Wild Oasis.
Yeah, tomato tomato.
Yeah. So this is past Busch Gardens history. If y'all have ever heard of Treetop Trails, Wild Oasis is pretty much treetop trails with a bit of a scavenger hunt and a bit more of diverse animals. But if y'all don't know what Treetop Trails is, I'll explain what Wild Oasis currently is. So Wild Oasis is more for older tween demographic.
Okay.
You know, like the kids who are too old for Sesame Street, but kind of want like a little place to like play and explore of their own. So that's pretty much what Wild Oasis is. There's climbing sets, there's a little water area, there's a little sensory area, which I love. I love sensory stuff because you get to like play with like little instruments and there's like little drums that I get to like bang on.
Nice.
Let's see what else there is. There's oh gosh, I think I got this wrong. I hope I'm not wrong. I might have to look to see what the official name is. Because my friend was recording a video and I was trying to correct him in what the ride name was, and I'm pretty sure I got the old name.
I mean, it's a ride. I got a whole land's name wrong, so.
Oh, where is it? Well, anyways, I can't find it. But it's like Falcon's Fury.
Okay.
Except for kids.
Okay.
That's pretty much. Oh, okay. So it's called Treetop Drop. I don't know. This might have. I swear. In an alternate universe, they called it Wild Surge, unless that was Treetop Trails. But the drop tower, the flat ride, is called Treetop Drop, and this one compared to the one in the past, this one's very nicely themed. It's very cool with like sound effects and visuals, and it's all really nice. It's very colorful compared to the past. So, I mean, even if you're an adult, go visit it. There's also a little scavenger hunt that you have to like go all around for, which I saw it and I said I'll do this another day because it's hot. So hopefully soon I can try it out and see how everything works, because you're supposed to like connect puzzles with like words, and it's very interesting. I think it's very educational. And one thing about Busch Gardens, which I loved before they got bought out through a private equity firm, Blackstone Group, was Anheuser-Busch, the original owners, were very educational about their parks. So I think bringing back a little bit of education in the parks is very nice to see.
Cool. And what do you feel is needed at Busch Gardens, Tampa? If you could add anything at all, what would you add? New for 2026. Well, not new for 2026, but if you were given the task for new for 2026, what would you add?
Ooh. Low key, I will say, I feel like a dark ride of some sort, or some sort of inside ride, would be so helpful with the Florida heat. Because Florida heat pretty much lasts from March to November. I don't know if you've been down here in like other Florida months besides January. Yeah. Oh no, you came at like
we came at a wrong time.
You came at the coldest time, and gotta bundle up for those. But definitely a dark ride would be awesome. I mean, even if it's like, I don't want to say something like Expedition Odyssey at SeaWorld, because it wasn't my favorite dark ride, but I think something fun and educational like that, but also entertaining at the same time. Even if it's like about the animals or about park history or something like that, it would be really cool to have. And there used to be be two actually, one called Questar and one called Akbar's Adventure Tours, but that got Oh, you go.
No, go ahead.
Oh, but that got transformed into one of their houses for Hollow Scream. But you know, a lot of people have been begging for a Giga, so we'll see if they follow through.
I'm curious if the state of Florida will allow a Giga. I'm curious.
I mean, they did allow Falcon's Fury, which is like 400 feet.
Yeah.
But I think I feel like it's like a 50-50 to me still,
Mm-hmm.
because the Giga has to have like so much land,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even know where they would place it, because there's certain rules too where it's like, I think the roller coaster can't invade too much of the animal's space. And a lot of the space that Busch Gardens has is for the Serengeti, for the animals. So unless Busch Gardens, like, no.
That was going to be my next question was, what do you think is going to happen to the animals? Because clearly SeaWorld's starting to drift away from sea life. What do you think is going to happen to land life?
I feel like it depends. I think SeaWorld is definitely on like a different boat, because like PETA's really been on them about Shamu. And I haven't really seen PETA or any organizations or any controversy with at least the Busch Gardens parks. And I think Busch Gardens, they treat their animals very well. And from what I've seen from SeaWorld recently, I went to like a couple of their animal shows. I mean, they haven't treated them bad from what I know. I mean, at least from the like Shamu dark fish documentary. I haven't seen that in a really long time, but I know that's what caused or started the argument of animals in the parks. But I know Busch Gardens very much labels themselves as like a zoo as well. And I think the animals are here to stay. I mean, they got the anteater, and please help me with the name, the capybara.
Capybara.
Capybara. Oh gosh. And they got the capybara too. And I think, and then they also just got a sloth in too, I think. Or they're expanding on their animals. I think they love their animals. They always do animal shows too. Well, not animal like shows like they do with dolphins or
presentations.
Presentations. Yeah, exactly. And that's also very educational, and it's really nice. Yeah, I think the animals are there to stay.
Cool. It's nice to have a non-Disney zoo that can be educational and fun at the same time.
Yeah.
But that's cool. And like I said, Kids and I definitely want to get down to Busch Gardens Tampa, catch up with you and Juan, and catch some coasters while we're at it too.
Yes.
And yeah. So let's go ahead and hop into the questions here. And
good.
I was telling you before we started recording, we had a really good turnout of questions. So thank you all for submitting questions for Grace. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the one that I told her came in through our stories that she has no idea what I'm about to ask. She saw your guys' comments on the post, but she has not seen this question.
Oh gosh, I'm scared.
And I'm not going to say who this is, but I will tell you his initials are Aaron Rhodes of Coasters and Coffee.
Oh, good exposure. Now I know who to go for.
You're right. Aaron wants to know, Grace, this is the $1 million question. Why is Great Bear better than Montu?
Great Bear?
Yes. Better than Montu.
I don't even know what Great Bear is. Is that another invert?
It's at Hershey Park.
Oh crap. Guys, I don't know much about the Hershey Park, I'll be real.
Oh, he was just joking. That wasn't the real question. He's put that in there.
I know
it's their invert.
Okay, let me see.
It sucks.
Let me see. Let me see the elements. Ooh, only 4 inversions. Okay. 90 feet. Oh no. Okay. We already know Montu's superior. I bet this one has a rattle too.
No comment.
As you guys can tell. Ooh, okay, well it has an aluminum. Okay, it's not very diverse either. Okay. No. I bet it's a really small roller coaster.
It is.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
But he said, in all seriousness, just kidding. What are we kind of covered this already, but what are your thoughts on the direction of Busch Gardens Tampa?
Oh, okay. So I feel like the direction has been really crazy since the like selling like Anheuser-Busch.
Acquisition.
Yeah. Since Anheuser-Busch not being in the picture, I feel like Anheuser-Busch just made the park what the park is. And nowadays, kind of like SeaWorld, it's like all about roller coasters, which is like understandable. I get it. We love roller coasters. This is like some of the stuff that I hyped for. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like how it felt when I was younger. And I feel like that's the saddest part. And I feel like when I was younger, it felt like more vibrant and happy. And nowadays it's like, it just, money. Yeah, it's, I feel like it's like a big money grabber, unfortunately. And I'm not complaining because they are investing into, like family rides, like Phoenix Rising. And, they did do a big investment for Montu back in 2016 when they refurbished that. They're refurbishing a little bit of Kumba right now. So I feel like they do care about park history. The original brewery, hospitality house is there. But overall, I feel like we'll have to see in the next coming years or weeks, because now we have a new park president, and it was the previous president for Six Flags Great Adventures. And I've heard great things about him, but I think we'll have to see how much of a role he plays in Busch Gardens and how he leads or tries to lead the park in the right direction.
I could say the same thing about Kings Island. It's kind of, when you were saying that, it's like, that sounds like Kings Island. Like right now, we're just, how it is. It's the beauty of an acquisition.
Yeah, I think with the, and this kind of like goes back to like Scorpion. I think with the demolition of Scorpion, that caused like good and bad controversy at the same time. And I don't know if you've ever rode a Schwarzkopf coaster. I mean, you probably have, right?
I think I have, yeah.
All right. I mean, you've been to Hershey, so you've probably rode Super Duper Blooper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you've at least rode one. I mean, it was bittersweet to see Scorpion go. I mean, it was like 1 out of 3 models of that coaster were left in the world. And I think it was like a park classic, but I think they are working on updating not only their theming, but also the future of Busch Gardens and the area of Pantopia. And obviously Scorpion didn't fit in that area. So I think they are very much trying to work on the future of Busch Gardens. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Time will only tell. And it's funny, as of this recording, tomorrow is the Six Flags earning call, where we might be hearing the fate of the chain and hearing what's next. So we might hear what's next for Kings Island. So obviously the park's not going anywhere. It's like their favorite child at this point. But as far as what's coming in 26 and beyond, we're going to find out tomorrow, more than likely. So
I guess we'll see with that call. We'll see if United Parks and Entertainment is in better condition than Six Flags. And
I think y'all are in a better state than we are.
Yeah. And which is, I don't want to say unfortunately, it's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah, but anyways, let's move on to a happier topic. So, some more questions, and you've seen these. So the first one, I'm excited to hear your answer because this is the one you replied to. Oh, for sure, I know the answer to this. So.
Oh gosh, yes.
Thomas Likes Coasters says, if you had to retire one current ride, wow, this is a pressing question we just got off. Okay. If you had to retire one current ride at Busch Gardens Tampa, what would it be? Not Kumba, though.
Okay, we all love Kumba. We can't retire Kumba. Montu is staying. Shikra is staying. Iron Gawazi is for sure staying.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix Rising, for sure staying. It kind of has to. What else is there? Oh yeah, Cheetah Hunt, for sure staying. So that leaves us to Air Grover and Tigress. I don't know. Oh yeah, you probably have Tempesto.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. You've rode a Skyrocket 2 model. So, Air Grover is the kiddie ride of the park. And sometimes I don't want to count it as a roller coaster. I like to count that one as like an honorable mention.
Yeah.
So it's definitely Tigress that we're getting rid of. That's literally, speaking of like parks being cheap, that's literally the cheapest roller coaster they could have picked. I mean, okay, so the only good thing about that roller coaster is like it's in a compact area.
Yeah.
But literally the cheapest coaster that they could have put there. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So we're getting rid of that and putting in a Dippin' Dot stand. Maybe a bench while we're at it, I don't know. But
I mean, the Dippin' Dots guy there can spill us some tea about upcoming stuff.
Gotta ask the Dippin' Dots guys whichever park it is. I should ask them about Kings Island, but moving on. What is one of the worst coasters you've ridden? This is from Infuriated Plum.
Oh, let me get my coaster list out to make sure so I don't lie. Let's see. I have all my coasters rated. So, definitely the worst one. Sea Serpent at Fun Spot Orlando.
Okay.
Is at the bottom of my list.
Okay.
On top of Sea Serpent at Kissimmee Fun Spot.
Oh boy.
I don't know if you've ever been to the Fun Spot parks.
I haven't, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But like okay, so even if it's like my least favorite roller coaster, Fun Spot's actually really cool and diverse with their rides. So I definitely recommend you guys go there.
Yeah.
And next time you come to Orlando, you gotta ride Mind Blower.
Let's see. Boy.
That one's crazy.
Other than a cheap little kid's ride, what's the worst one?
Oh, okay, hold on. Ooh. I don't think I'll get controversy for this one, but I rode Mean Streak back in the day.
Okay.
And I remember I think I like got off that ride and like needed an Advil. And that's like very rare. That's like very rare. And then next to that is Tigress.
Okay. Makes sense. It's Gonzo. Oh, man. I'm curious, where is Vertigo on your list of coasters?
Let's see.
Because I think that's on the chopping block for this year. Because I don't know if you've seen pictures. I don't know if you've seen pictures of it or Ryan's story, but there are wires hanging from Vertigo.
Wires?
It looks like the most Six Flags thing ever.
Purposely?
I guess. I don't know. Like, it hasn't been running, so I'm guessing it's clearly not supposed to be like that, but...
So, I have in Vertigo... Let's see. Oh, crap. Let's see. Below Raptor, that Raptor Cedar Point, and above Rock and Roller Coaster.
Okay, fair enough. Roller Coaster sucks. You can't throw the Muppets in there and say it's better. No. Okay. Moving on. Speaking of Muppets, moving right along, we're going to go to the next question by Stephen Banks. Stephen asks, what do you plan on making number 100?
Oh, I don't think... I feel like I'm kind of in the phase of trying to plan out my 75th still, which for my 75th, I will say I'm trying to make Stardust Racers, the green side, my 75th roller coaster.
Okay.
I feel like that's a good one to make. Nice. So for my 100th, if I ever, in good timing, make it out to Pennsylvania steel curtain.
Okay. Hopefully it's there.
Oh,
It's
crap,
not looking
you're
so
right.
good right now.
I thought they like refurbished it this season. But like, I mean, I haven't like seen bad.
Did you hear about what happened to the train?
No.
The seat cushion fell off and hit some kid and gave him a concussion.
Oh my gosh, when did this happen?
This was like literally right after it reopened. So it's like it has a terrible track record.
Oh, great. Okay, I guess I need to go to Pennsylvania sooner.
Come now, make a pit stop at Ohio.
Yeah.
Just saying. But and speaking of Pennsylvania, Max H. Coasters asks, Dorney trip? ?
Good question. I feel like if I do like a Pennsylvania trip, it would have to be like the Hershey Park, Dorney, and then like Nobel's as well. Like all of those parks meshed in one.
Nice. Next question. Carolina Cyclone James asks, if you had to pick one coaster model to revive, what would it be and what company would you like to see revive it?
This is a complicated question. I feel like this is like average, but I feel like the Flying Dutchman that Vekoma made. You know, the last living one is at Six Flags America, and that one's not looking too good. Yeah, well, not looking too good. But I feel like someone who could revive it is B&M, because I feel they got the flying coaster pretty good squared away. Manta's amazing and intense, and you know they just gotta lean the other direction. And another one, it's not a roller coaster, but it's a flat ride. Have you ever heard of Sledgehammer at Canada's Wonderland?
No. Go ahead. Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's like the only kind in the world, and I can't think of a flat ride to compare it to, but it just like it brings up the ride seats and it just like spins around and the thingies spin around at the same time. Nice. It's awesome. And so it was manufactured by Aero Hus when that was a thing. But I feel like if someone were to revive that, it would definitely be Mach or Intamin. Yeah. Could definitely do. I feel like Mach more likely. I feel like they have a very diverse range of everything that they do. So
cool. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. The next one here is from Coasters and Coffee. So Nick there. What's your favorite travel spot non-coaster related?
Ooh. So funny story. So the first spot I will say is DC. Oh yeah, y'all were in DC too. Yeah. Not too long ago. I went to DC like in 2022. Okay. Very crazy awesome. Fully if you're American, you have to see the Capitol once in your lifetime, whether it be just for fun or education. Probably for education reasons. But DC, it's just like great to learn about your country's history as someone who is like very happy and like proud to be an American. It's amazing to see. And I got to live out my dream kind of being like Nicolas Cage from National Treasure. And
steal the Declaration of Independence.
Yes, exactly. I kind of like recreated it on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. And so long story short, I did visit Philadelphia, and I know it's in Pennsylvania, and I kind of have an excuse, like a good one, that I didn't like visit theme parks in that area, and that's because I broke my foot and I just got done with foot surgery.
Oh no.
Yeah. So Philadelphia was amazing as well. And if you want to visit your country's first capital, definitely go there too. The foot surgery part, I was on like a knee roller, so it kind of just hindered a lot of like like
stairs. Yeah.
Yes, stairs. Like I think it's called the Senate room, like the very first Senate room. You were able to walk up the stairs if you wanted to. I couldn't. I was like, that's fine. But Independence Hall was amazing. It was beautiful. The penitentiary, I think there was a penitentiary. That was creepy. You see that on like the ghost shows. And then it was all spooky. It was crazy. Amazing history at both places. So pretty much anywhere that's history related is like a great place to go. In terms of me, I love history. So
I second that. I love those places too. I've been to both Philadelphia and DC, obviously.
Yes.
But yeah, they're great places to go, especially if you're American. Definitely go check it out. And even if you're abroad and you're visiting America, catch you a coaster or two, but definitely go check out some of what makes our nation our nation. And don't let the media tell you what our country is. Go see it for yourself. And or maybe not, depending on. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Side topic.
Okay. Godzilla Tampa Bay 95 says, will there be a Hyperia-inspired coaster to replace Kumba when it retires at Busch Gardens, Tampa?
Ooh, so one thing for sure is I feel like Kumba will be there for another good 5 to 10 years after this refurbishment. And, like, walking around and visiting Kumba all the time, like, they're putting in a lot of effort into, like, keeping the coaster maintained. And it's like to the point where it's like, they should have just done a retrack with all the like money that they're spending to keep it. But anyways, Kumbo definitely there for another 5 to 10 years. And I don't know. One thing's for sure is that there are like rumored sinkholes back there, like where Kumba is. I don't know if you've heard of them. Yeah, I haven't. Oh, there are rumored sinkholes. That was probably one of the biggest rumors of why Kumba closed. But more or less, it was most likely just the track part. In terms of Hyperia replacing Kumba in the future, I feel like that could be like the potential Giga area because Kumba takes up a lot of land. And I feel like the Giga could easily fit back there. So that's my biggest prediction of what could replace Kumba, but for now, I don't see Kumba going away anytime soon.
Okay. I'm sorry if I butcher this. Lovely Lexi says, do you remember the first coaster you've ever ridden?
Yes. So, long story short with that one too, it was also Scorpion. Okay. And it's funny, like, the way that I wrote it. But it was, like, my birthday, and my parents essentially lied to me, saying that we're going to go to Bird Gardens. But they didn't really lie, because Busch Gardens used to be Bird Gardens. Okay. So we went to Busch Gardens, and got to ride Scorpion. And that was also technically the first coaster I marathoned, because that was the only coaster I rode that entire day. And I rode it with my dad. So it was my first roller coaster, but it also like a really fun memory. Oh, cool. Really fun birthday. Yeah.
Nice. And then Liam asks, what's your favorite color?
Ooh, well, Montu's colors, though. Yeah. Definitely blue. Yes, blue. Blue. Hint of yellow here and there, but I feel like the typical black is really nice too. So blue, black, yellow.
Nice. And then Coaster Geek 33 asks, when did you start liking coasters? What's your favorite coaster manufacturer and model?
Ooh, okay. So for the first question, when I started liking coasters was definitely when I rode Scorpion all that time. So I was about like 11 or 12. And that was probably in like 2013-ish, 2011, 2012, 2013-ish. And I feel like that's kind of when I started getting into coasters. And then when I made my trip up to Cedar Point in like 2013, 2014, that's when I was really, really into coasters because, you know, holy crap, Cedar Point is like a field, like a playground of roller coasters.
Yeah.
And it was so fun. I remember I would like ride Magnum over and over again. I mean, that sounds painful today, but that it was good times back then. And unfortunately, my passion kind of died out when I was younger because there's no one to like always want to go to theme parks back then. And I also had sports. And I'm very happy that my passion for roller coasters got brought up again last year. So I'll say it started at a young age. It stayed consistent, but never very passionate about it. But now I'm able to use this passion for roller coasters and expand on.
Nice. Grace Adventure says 3 praise hands. Okay, never mind. Just kidding. We got 2 more here. Katie's Coasters, so shout. Katie says, what's one roller coaster that really advanced your love for them?
Ooh. So I got a couple. So definitely Scorpion. I feel like that's the coaster that got me into coasters for sure. And, you know, we can guess, but Montu.
I wonder what it is.
Montu for sure. I don't know, just like riding Montu is just like stress relief for me. It's just like I don't listen to music or anything, and I just like I ride it. I feel the intensity. I like to study each seat that I ride. Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely Montu for sure. Montu and Scorpion.
All right. And Ride of Your Life Ministries asks, every Saturday we like to highlight a song that means something special to us. What's a song you'd like to highlight for Song Spotlight this week?
So you might be able to guess this, or guess the artist at least.
Okay.
But I'll give you a hint. They are touring next year in 2026 in their reunion tour.
Who could that be? Is it Mr. Mac Powell on Third Day?
Ding, ding, ding. Yes, Third Day. Okay. I love Third Day. I grew up with Third Day. And I know last podcast, I gave y'all a song that was from Rock the Universe because, you know, I was in that mojo. I was in Yes. But from Third Day, there's a really meaningful, special song about your relationship with God and everything on this world. It really doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And that's what the song Nothing Compares by Third Day highlights.
All right. Nothing Compares by Third Day. All right. Awesome. We'll highlight that this week for Song of the Week. And last but not least, Grace, how can folks get connected with you? And what are some final thoughts you have as well? Go ahead and throw those all together.
So how you can get connected with me is that you can follow me on Instagram or TikTok. I have an X account, but I don't really use it as I should, but it's okay. So Instagram and TikTok it is. You just find me at Grace Adventures, adventure.s. So Grace Adventure.s. It's really confusing, but the actual username was taken, so we'll just go with it. And then also on YouTube, just search for Grace Adventures. And yeah, if y'all want to connect, if y'all want to chat about roller coasters, Jesus, etc., theming, Easter eggs, yeah, just send me a DM. For my DMs, I am very much more active on Instagram than TikTok, so Instagram it is. And then also, final advice, final thoughts. I know this is a Christian podcast, and, you know, we love to highlight Jesus. And I think making time to prioritize God is probably one of the most important things you could do in your life. As much as we love roller coasters, as much as we love Easter eggs and all that fun stuff, but without that relationship with Jesus, you're you're living an interesting, crazy life in this sinful world.
Yeah.
So just finding time to open your Bible, finding time to know your intentions on how you're living your life for him is very essential to your role on this earth with the unique gifts that he's given you. So just find time to prioritize God, and he'll respond back, and he will give you answers.
Awesome. That's good advice and a great way to end this awesome episode. So, Grace, it's always a pleasure having you on. And Kinsey and I love you. And we just love you and thankful for your friendship. And we're excited to see what God's got in store for you in the days ahead. So, yeah. So, with that said, everybody go check out Grace at Grace Adventures. Links in the show notes below. Get connected with her. You won't regret it. So, thanks again, Grace, and we will talk to you later.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Ride of Your Life podcast. We hope it was a blessing, help, and encouragement to you. Stay connected with ROYL on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Simply search Ride of Your Life Ministries. You can also visit our website, rideofyourlifeministries.com, for the latest news and updates, as well as our merch shop. Be sure to stop by our YouTube channel, simply search Ride of Your Life Ministries, for this episode and others from previous seasons. And you can also find future content there as well. We hope you'll join us next week for another great episode of the Ride of Your Life podcast. God bless.